Nintopic Podcast, all things Nintendo.
Welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Jazz hands, guys. We rehearsed this 100 games. Kidding. Welcome to the Nintopics Podcast, guys. We are back. We are live, better than ever, ready to talk video games. I hope you enjoyed the Coffee with Video Games segment that we were having, because tomorrow's a really good one featuring Joyce J. So you can't miss that one. Coffee Video Games. It's a good series. Hoping to have Vandy. Hoping to have Linz. Hoping to have Mandy on the show as well. It's gonna be awesome. But we're here live in the Nintopics Podcast to talk about things that are happening this year, because guys, it's on like Donkey Kong, but Donkey Kong is missing for some reason. He's missing. So
he's taking a peek behind the bushes.
He's taking a little break. I wanted to start by first thanking every one of you for being here today. Again, you did not have to dress up for this occasion, but I do appreciate you guys. Look amazing. Chat, let me know what your best emojis. How do you feel? And I want to introduce the cast today. The cast, right? We have Paul Gale is coming up a little later, right? He's teaching some punches and kicks, and then once he punches and kicks, he comes back over here and tells us about the punches and kicks. So, let's start. Go ahead and take it over, Vandy. What's up, man? What's going on?
Little exhausted today, but we're doing good. I love the topic today. I'm honestly really excited to talk about like the future, just because like there's so many unanswered questions, but like so many things we kind of do know already a little bit, or are rather like pretty sure are going to be happening soon. So I'm honestly really excited, really happy to be here. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, and I'm ready to talk some Pokemon and some Nintendo.
Awesome. There's a little bit of everything, guys, today, because we're gonna hit everything. We're gonna hit the world of Pokemon. We're gonna hit the world of Zelda. We're gonna hit the world of Mario. We're gonna talk about the future of Nintendo, okay? Because right now it's all set in stone, and we'll see what's happening next. And I want to know how Liz is feeling tonight. Liz.
Hello. I'm good. My dogs ended up being okay after the emergency trip last week, which was good.
Yes.
That was not a fun time. But both dogs are okay, which is huge, which is great. But it's just been a lot of gaming, a lot of just preparation for this weekend for Big Subathon.
Nice.
And I'm excited. It's been fun.
Hey, I hear a little birdie told me. Little birdie flew in to the house. I almost hit the window, but I had to open the window a little bit. And when it came inside the house, after it ate some ribs, it told me that there's a birthday coming around here. We are actually kind of not celebrating a birthday from one of our podcast hosts here. I'm not gonna mention any name, Linz. So everybody in the chat, wish her a happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Let me get the real thing.
Hope
Nope,
you have a
that's
good
not it.
one.
No, it's okay. I think the laugh audio actually worked better. You're old. So
No.
we can just start that now.
No.
No, not till you get 40, honey.
Couple more years. We'll put the laugh track on there,
You got some time.
and then the crying track later on.
Yeah, it just progressively turns more into sobs.
Yeah. And then denial, and it was like, yeah. So happy birthday, Lynn.
Happy birthday.
Hope you have a great subathon, guys. Subathon means you have to be this for her. She's gonna be like streaming for how many hours?
It's uncapped, so I'll probably start it at roughly 6 or 8 hours, and they determine how long I go. So the more support I get, the longer I go. It could be 48 hours. It could not stop for a week. I don't know.
I'm gonna go in and right at towards the end of every single time, like super chat.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Exactly. All right, and take it over, Joycey. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. Let's see here. Got my coffee, got my water. I got cookies. I am just very happy to be here. Very happy to talk about games. Future of Nintendo software. More Zelda, of course, and we got Mario. We got lots of Mario coming up. I'm so hyped.
I know, right? Mario is not just Mario, but games in the Mario universe. 8.
Yes.
Is it 8 out of the next 9 games are Mario universe games?
It seems like it. Showtime Peach, Mario RPG, which is a remake, but I haven't played it. Thousand Year Door, which is also a remake, but I haven't played it. Mario Wonder, of course.
Luigi's Mansion.
And the same little birdie that came to visit you visited me earlier this week. It flew in. It didn't even fly in. It was like sneaking on my backpack. And came in the house with me and sat on the table and just had a chat with me. And the little birdie said that we might be getting a big open world 3D Mario, maybe, possibly, for upcoming hardware. But we care more about games.
But
Vandy's brain's gonna explode.
If we get an open world 3D, like a 3D Mario game, I'm speechless. I would freak out. I'm becoming a Mario tuber. I'm switching. I'm going straight to that. That would be insane.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it right.
We're gonna hit that later on, but apparently it's the first launch game since Mario 64. So let's talk about that later on. But before
I'm excited,
I want to introduce another a special guest we have here. Okay, I'm gonna dub her. Let's say RPG, the queen of RPG. Let's do that. Queen of RPG.
RPG queen.
RPG.
I like it.
That's in my bio, so yeah.
Bro, really? We can look at that. We have Mandy Lee Plays here with us at the podcast. Everybody welcome them with their best emojis. And let's see here. Well, that's not it anymore. Welcome, Mandy Lee.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
And then
I'm
tell
good.
us about yourself. Tell about yourself, about what what you do on your channel, who you are, where you live, your social security number,
blood type.
But hi guys, I'm Mandy. I have a channel called Mandy Lee Plays. I do a lot of RPG content, a lot of evergreen content, and I also live stream. So if you're into that, mostly Nintendo. I mean, I do all the platforms, but it's mostly Nintendo, basically.
Yeah, and as you can hear, she has a soft voice, so I call her like the cozy RPG queen.
No,
so, you guys,
my voice is like,
it's good. It's good.
It's
There's a lot of people.
soothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Very soothing.
It's very soothing. So there's a lot of people love that. I mean, I was watching one of your videos, and I was like, just really like, I was like, this is so relaxing. And I'm listening to games and relaxing at the same time, and that's a really good thing, a good trait that not a lot of people have. So. More to you guys. Go subscribe to Mandy Lee. She has a lot of good content over there, a lot of good opinions on RPG games and stuff like that. So yeah, welcome, Mandy Lee.
Hello, nice to be here.
All right, T. Today, guys, we're gonna jump right in because it is spicy day today. I got my mug with stuff in it, and I'm not gonna even touch it because I think that's old. But
is
still,
the tea piping?
Is the what?
I said, is the tea piping? As in, do you have piping hot tea?
It's not piping. It's dreaded cold right now. It's just cold.
Good.
I really tried to set him up there. I really tried to just alley-oop that for him.
I was gonna say something that I said, no, let's just let this go.
I don't know what that means. I still don't know what that means.
It's just a saying. We'll tell you later.
Yeah, because I'm a little child on things. Anyway, so we have topics today. We got things to talk about today, and so we're talking about the future of Nintendo. Yes, it has to also. We're going to talk about Switch 2 and what has been said out there. I'm gonna go ahead and just gonna literally. I got opinions of what has been said out there because when things are said out of context, they sound a different way, right? If you say this hand is mine, then I'm gonna never mind. This was a horrible example. What was this hand is mine? This mouse is round, right? Because you only see the top part, right? But what if I show you the rest of it? Look at it. People who are listening. Although I think Mandy left. Did Mandy leave? Oh wait,
we're here.
I kicked you out with the mouse. Sorry, Mandy.
Oh,
oh, that's
bring
wild.
her back.
I went like this and I clicked it and it kicked out Mandy. Sorry, Mandy. Anyway,
it's okay.
But yeah, it's good to have the entire story in order to make up your mind, in order for you to understand what really is being said, right? Because a lot of content creators out there, they take a little bit of story, they run with that. I mean, they run with it like there's no tomorrow, and then they hit the wall. And then when they hit the wall, it's not pretty. So let's go ahead and move into the world of Pokemon, because Pokemon has a future. I believe the greatest game of Pokemon has ever made is yet ahead of us. Okay. And I want Linz and Mandy to tell us what that game is, because I have no idea. I've never caught a shiny before. And I don't think they exist. I think that's a cult that people are just,
shinies.
Yeah, shinies.
They're shinies.
They don't exist. They don't.
Mike doesn't believe in the shiny.
I don't believe in shinies. No.
You just need to have patience and grind for that shiny.
I've had 8 years of patience. I've never caught a shiny ever in my life, and it's just thing.
In any Pokemon game that he's played.
Any Pokemon, yeah, exactly. In any Pokemon game that I've ever played. By the way, I am legally blind, so I caught one and I never found out about it, but still.
Here you go, Mike. Here's a shiny I found like 3 days ago.
Wow.
It's not real, Mike. It's an illusion.
It's actually just a photo that I colored myself.
It's photoshopped.
Yeah.
It's photoshopped. Yeah.
Totally.
How many shinies did you find tonight, Vandy?
8 of them.
All right.
I found 8 in like an hour and 45. That was crazy. That was pretty lucky.
All right. So
The Legend of Pokemon: Hunt for the Shiny. I think. Wait a minute. I think I just did something. I think there's a plot in there somewhere. Y'all work on that.
You think you're cooking?
We got
Preheating the oven really quick.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all gotta mix the dough though.
Can you imagine a reaction video of me catching my first ever shiny? Because I don't know what it feels like. I literally don't know what that feels like. I don't know how I'm gonna react. I might faint.
You feel special.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might scream, I might yell, I might cry, I might laugh. I might just like spiral in the really deep hole of depression.
I'll get you set up to where you'll find your first shot. I'll get you set up. I'll get you best odds, but then you'll be running around. Maybe you'll hear it, maybe you'll see it, and I'll be there, and it'll be great.
Trust me, they will run away from me. They will just flee.
They might. You gotta catch them. You gotta go get them.
Right? Well, that's what they're supposed to do, right? They have to.
Yes, they will run away from you. That is the whole. That is what they do.
Well, here's my thing, right? If Mike's never caught a shiny, and like because he hasn't seen a shiny, he doesn't know what a lot of the shinies look like if they're really subtle. I really wonder if he's like in Scarvy, been next to a shiny and just didn't know it was shiny.
Yeah, honestly, that's true. There's only like a few games that have like the sound of the actual like when you see it. So like genuinely, you might have been near a few shinies.
So they have games that have sounds.
Yeah.
That would help. That would actually help because I can hear it. Like
yeah. Legends Arceus is perfect for that. They took it out in Scarlet and Violet though because they hate us
like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's like a little like xylophone sound. It's like
okay.
That was perfect.
Thank you. I really tried. I auditioned actually. They just didn't give me the part.
It's like I'm a voice
You were
actor.
robbed.
For what? The shiny sound.
So this is a good segue. It's a good segue. Take it away. What do you guys see? First thing, what's happening right now currently with Pokemon, and what do you see happening, and where do you want to see this franchise go next?
Linda, you got it.
Oh, me? Okay. I think I don't know. There's a lot of different aspects of Pokemon, but I feel like the moment where everyone kind of came together and was like, this is a great game was Legends Arceus. And I feel like if they were to take a lot of the aspects that made Legends Arceus good, with that being like the beginning stages of open world, but just like really good. Like there was the shiny sound, the shiny odds were good, the character customization was good, the story was great. I feel like if they took a lot of those aspects and they put it into a main series game and had the game run well, unlike Scarlet and Violet, on top of just like being able to play the game in any way you want to, you know, with the 3 different storylines that existed in Scarlet and Violet, but actually be able to have that be true and have things actually like level scale to you, because you can technically play Scarlet and Violet in any way you want to, but they don't scale. So there's a way that you have to play through it if you want the levels to be on par with where you are in the game. So I feel like adding that to it would be really, really good. I don't know. It's just, I think people want something that's just refreshing and just like, I don't know. I feel like I see a lot of games do what Pokemon could do better.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what's really frustrating to a lot of people is the fact that Pokemon, it's not that they don't have the money. Yeah. It's not that they don't have the creativity. It's not that they don't have the team. They're just not doing it. And so I think a lot of people, even we're talking about, I think there's like a Final Fantasy like RPG something that's coming out soon. And so many people were like, this is what Pokemon could be if they just tried harder.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In my opinion, if they were to do a lot of those just quality of life, like I said, giving the shiny sound, having things actually level scale and have things function more like open world when they say that it's open world.
Yeah.
And just follow through on a lot of things, because I feel like they have the skill set to do it. They're just not. And we've talked about it before. It could be time constraints. You know, Scarlet and Violet was being made during COVID. We don't know what like limitations that put on timing and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm hopeful for Gen 10. I really am. Yeah, and especially with the things of Gen 5 coming out with the remakes that we're probably going to get news on in February.
Nice.
I'm very curious to see if they make like a Legends Kyurem, a Legends Swords of Justice kind of thing, where they take what Legends Arceus did and they make that even better.
Yeah.
And if that is a stepping stone, at least in the right direction, like Gen 10 could go crazy. And I think we're really going to get a gauge as to where they're trying to go when what they saw worked really well with Scarlet and Violet and what didn't, based on what we get in February.
Nice. And so Vandy, think Switch 2. Think about the hardware that's coming in. Think about adding more power behind the game. What is it? What would you like to see there?
This might be just like hopeful / ignorant thinking.
Yeah.
But with the ability to have a stronger console support what you want to put into the game, I think that being able to make it even more open world in an aspect of making it look almost like a Tears of the Kingdom, while having it be able to load and run well, while being able to have more creative freedom. I think a Switch 2 can definitely provide that, because like I don't think anyone expected a game of Pokemon to look like a God of War, but I don't think it should have looked like what it did, especially when we've seen games look infinitely better. Xenoblade, I think, is a perfect example of like a beautiful looking game, whether you're right next to like a mountain, a tree, whatever, or you're like 150 feet away from it. Like it always looks beautiful. And then if you transition over to Scarlet and Violet, which is what we got, it looks like someone drew it in crayon. Like it just does not translate over. And it's like so shocking that the most profitable company that section of Nintendo is producing something like this, when then you have games on the same console look infinitely better. So I think that a Switch 2, like I wish I could say the Switch 2 is what's going to make Pokemon look better, but like it's not like Pokemon reached its peak in the Switch 1 in terms of its graphics. It was not anywhere near that. Legends Arceus it looked good, but it didn't. I don't think that's the peak either. I think Pokemon Let's Go is actually the best looking game we've ever gotten.
And that was a launch game.
Yeah, and it was literally a launch game that like people were like, it's okay. And like again, it's I'd probably give like a 6 out of a 10 game. It's fine, like it's good. But it's so like it's almost like comical to me that of the last 4 games that they've given us all on the Switch, each one has like an amazing aspect that I feel like didn't transfer over to its next game, to its successor. And it hurts my head. I don't know why they don't see what we loved and then kept that and then tried to do some creative things as well to see if we like that. Instead, they took away what we loved or unnecessarily took out some things of the game, not even to make room for like, oh, we wanted to try this. They just didn't have it in the next game. And it confuses me why they did that. Because if you take Let's Go, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, and Pokemon Legends Arceus, and you took different aspects of those games and put it into one, put it on the Switch 2, and up the graphics, that is genuinely one of the most perfect games we could ever get, as long as we have the level scaling, like Lynn said, to kind of make it feel like a legitimate open world where, like, yeah, you can run anywhere you want to, but like, it's not really do what you want. Like she said, it's like, you go anywhere you want to, but like, you're going to get your butt kicked if you go over there. You're going to get your butt kicked if you go over there. Oh, you missed that one? Well, now your Pokemon level 50 and you're fighting a level 8 Smoliv. That's just literally an olive Pokemon. Like it's just so interesting to where I don't know what we're going to get in Generation 10. Obviously, I have incredibly high hopes for it because it's Generation 10. But it's just, it's hard to have like the biggest hope in the world when what a lot of people liked just didn't seem to go into the next game. And they're trying things. So I can't fault them for that. They're a very creative group of people, but like, I don't know. It's like your guess is as good as mine for what we're going to get into the future of Pokemon. Cause I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you made some great points. And by the way, that's all welcome to Paul Gale Network.
Oh,
talk to me,
Paul.
Paul.
Is there actually video footage today?
there is.
Oh wow!
We see you. You are coming right off campus, bruh.
Yeah, we see you about to kick somebody in the head.
Oh, I just finished doing that. Just finished. Oh, how y'all doing?
We're doing good. Welcome, Paul. Welcome. Good to have you.
Oh, good to be here. I'll just follow along with what you're saying, and then I'll chime in when I'm ready, I guess.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, well, basically the main topic is we're choosing a franchise, and we're looking to the future of that franchise, and then what can we see happen on the next generation console with that same franchise? Like, what's the current state and the future of that franchise? If you want, you can get Mario because you have Mario Wonder in the brain still from the conversation yesterday, right?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we can get that going with that. That's basically the topic for that. Vandy and Liz, amazing commentary on when it comes to Pokemon, the Pokemon world, what they want to see and what we can expect. Hopefully, we can expect with Gen 10 in the next gen system. I want to add to that. I would love to see that, like Vandy and Liz says, like a fully open world that has sky, ground, and underground. Just because it did it with Tears of the Kingdom. A world that big, I think that Nintendo opened the door for that, right? So why not? Why not? If we want to get a Pokemon that only lives underground, make like a very deep underground and try to get Pokemon there, or maybe Pokemon that only fly. You have to go up in the sky with some kind of mechanics and catch it up there, or even go underwater in some kind of mechanism or whatever. Just something like that. And I think hopefully with the Switch 2, it's all possible. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say I wanted to add on to the fact that like even Vandy said like this, they didn't carry over a lot of the stuff that we really liked into its successors. It's not even just like it was like some kind of just like small game feature. A lot of it was straight up accessibility features. And so, like I said, with the shiny sound and you being as someone who already is losing their vision, even for you being able to hear that there's a shiny next to you, or people who are colorblind who literally can't distinguish color differences, especially when so many of them are that subtle and stuff like that. Even the visual cue of like the sparkle happening,
Listen,
it's very astonishing to me that they would get rid of accessibility changes. But the one thing that I've always wanted from Pokemon, even just as like a kid growing up, especially with how we've seen VR expand and stuff like that, the one thing I've always wanted was for Pokemon to integrate VR in some way, shape, or form. So when you're battling, you feel like you're actually in a stadium and that there's a crowd around you. And it looks like if Charizard uses Flamethrower, that there's a ball of fire coming for you. That you're like, it's that level of immersion. And if Pokemon ever does that,
over.
It's done. It's game over. The whole thing.
Listen,
like,
Linda, listen.
Linda.
Listen. You're not too far ahead because anybody who watches the channel, I talk about patents a lot. I love looking at patents because that gives me a little glimpse inside the world of Nintendo, what they're thinking about. Even if all of them don't come out, at least I know, but so far, we have a track record of finding a patent and then expecting a product and seeing that product, right? Like,
are you about to make my dreams come true?
Yeah, like I released a video. Oh, Nintendo is coming out with the Nintendo Switch Edition, Mario Edition, OLED. What happened a couple weeks later? Switch Edition, Mario Edition. Yes, I found a patent that has to do with VR. Recent one. Okay. A recent
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Wendy.
About Pokemon?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for Gen 10, but I really want to see a remake of Pokemon Black and White. It's one of my favorite regions, and it's the next one. I just hope it's not like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But we'll see on that.
Three characters.
So for me, the future of Pokemon is slow. I mean, they've been behind in a lot of ways. What Vandy and Lynn said was correct. Like, if they were just to I don't know, like if it would be like a actual game and it functioned like an actual game, it would be very popular and a lot of people like it. But recently I don't know what's going on over there.
I mean, it is popular because it still outsells every other game. But I mean, I think that's
like
I think that's a problem. That's
a terrifying thought.
Yeah, that's the problem. That no matter what they get out there, no matter in what state it is, it still sells 20, 30, 40 million. It's like I think it's Nintendo's top seller when it comes to franchises. I know it's part owned by Nintendo, part game part feature. But if it were Nintendo's only, that would be Nintendo's top selling game, and I think that could be part of the problem. People still buy it no matter what, and it still comes out, and it doesn't really affect the sales at all. And I think it's because it has to do. It's just not the game. We have the series, we have the toys, we have the cards. The Pokemon world is so massive that it's just we don't know how to. I understand Randy's frustration because the world is so massive. How do you let them know that hey, we need you to listen to us?
I finished the DLC, the Teal Mask, and it actually has a really decent story. And if the game just functioned right,
oh nice.
Like all the work that the people put in the story and the visuals and stuff, it would just be so much better. It just ran correctly.
Yeah,
I can't emphasize
I do think there's at least a lot to look forward to because the thing is we're comparing Pokemon to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Not Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom that got delayed years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they saw the pandemic, they saw the crunch time, they said we can't get it done in time and have it be what we need it to be. Let's delay it. We know that Pokemon doesn't have that privilege due to contracts. So it's not that they don't want to, it's that they can't. However, I think that now that Pokemon is working on Gen 10, that they know has to hit, especially with the feedback they got from Scarlet and Violet. Now that it's not during the middle of a pandemic and, people are sick, people can't do what they need to do because they're so sick, on top of staffing shortages, on top of everything else. I think we're really going to see what Pokemon is capable of in Gen 10. Because Sword and Shield was such a stepping stone to get them where they needed to be.
Yeah.
And I think they put out Scarlet and Violet knowing it was going to be good, but it wasn't going to be great. But I think if they take a lot of the aspects that worked really well in Scarlet and Violet, now that they have the time, now that they have the team, now that, they've seen and heard everything that we have to say, I will be very shocked if Gen 10 isn't insane. Like, absolutely wild.
I agree.
I mean, but think about this. Like, after we got Pokemon Legends Arceus, did you think that Gen 9 was going to be what it is?
Yeah. 100%.
You thought Gen 9 was going to be this bad after getting Legends Arceus? The goated game.
I think that they didn't have as big of a staff. I think everything was made in COVID, on top of the fact that they did not get extensions for their projects in any way, shape, or form. I think that was very, very difficult for the team that they had, especially considering how hard Japan got hit during the pandemic. Like, everything was shut down. So people weren't going into the studios. People weren't doing the stuff that they would have been able to do. Legends Arceus was great. It was cool, but it was a small game because that's all they were able to get done in the time that they had and have it come out polished. I think Scarlet and Violet fell under a similar category. And I think had they had the time and they had the privilege that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom did, where they're like, you know what, let's just delay it so then that way we can get more done. Had they had that, I think the game would have been insane.
Yeah.
But I think people forget the limitations that the team had while this game was being made and was comparing it to games that weren't under a crunch line dead time. And so the other thing too is you can't go too crazy for Gen 9 because when Gen 10 comes, which the marketing, just with the fact that it rhymes, nuts. The fact that it's 10 years, quote unquote, of Pokemon, even though it's however many at this point, insane. Their marketing is going to be the best it's ever been because of how good the entire package for it is. They have to kind of give you a stepping stone for Gen 10 to be crazy, so you have a stark contrast as well. So I think they're holding out, personally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's hope for a bright future for Pokemon. And I believe I'm also optimistic about Gen 10, and I know it's gonna be awesome. Let's move on to the world of RPG. Mandy. I got some questions for you, Mandy. Listen.
Lots of questions.
So right now, the current state of RPGs, the ones you play, right? The ones that you're looking forward to. And where do you see the genre going with Nintendo Switch 2? What are you looking forward to?
For the successor, or just like in general, like the future?
Yeah, and the current state of the RPG games now, are you happy with them? Are you enjoying them? They're doing great things, and describe that. And then where do you see the genre going with Nintendo Switch 2?
Well, I see like RPGs are being developed rapidly. Like there's a lot of them coming. Yeah, and I'm all for it. For the future, there's gonna be a lot more that's coming. Especially if there's a Switch 2 and it runs some games better. We might get like a Final Fantasy 7 remake on the successor or something.
That's true.
Right now I play most of my RPGs on my Switch, and I love it. It's the Switch is really good when it comes to RPGs, better than the 3DS and like the other consoles. It's really kicking butt in that department.
Any game that you want looking forward to besides Final Fantasy 7 coming to Nintendo?
I'm looking forward to Mario RPG. I never played that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. I can't really think of like much out of my head, but there's a lot gonna come. So
yeah, there's a RPG, guys, is a big. There's a lot of them coming, and they all come out in batches too. It's like you can't really keep up with them sometimes. But yeah. And then we're over at Paul. What's up, Paul? I see you over there.
All right.
Are you in the parking lot?
I'm in the parking lot. I'm gonna have to roll soon, but I thought, well, let me do this before I head out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Paul.
What you got for me?
All right.
I would just love it if like a student walked by right now, like, oh hey,
All right, Paul. So this is the question for you. What?
All right.
Okay. Right now, the current state of gaming of your game of choice. What's your game of choice right now?
Game of choice?
Yeah, the game that you've been playing a lot, or a game that you're looking forward to.
I'll go with game I'm looking forward to, and that's Super Mario Brothers Wonder for sure.
And then
game of choice lately, I've been playing, not Tetris. Sorry, still think of Tetris a lot. F099. I have yet to get first place. Unfortunately, I could crack 10, but I haven't gotten first yet. But that's been what I've been playing the most lately, and you know, it's fun. This week haven't played too much in general. Of anything else, just been busy. But Mario Wonder will make sure I have time for that. I can't wait for Mario and Spider-Man 2 for that matter. Like big Spidey fan as well.
Yeah, and guys, if you didn't know, Paul Gale was at Nintendo Live. He was able to play Mario Wonder in person. He's amongst the royalty back there with Shigeru Miyamoto. I won't doubt that he's not on his way to his house right now to eat some lunch. But where do you see Mario going next?
So one of the reasons why I think that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be a little bit later in 2024 is actually because we are getting Super Mario Brothers Wonder so soon in October. Yeah, and I think Nintendo would want to have a little bit of space in between big Mario releases. Even though one is 2D and one is 3D, and they play very differently, I don't know if you'd want to oversaturate the character by having too big of releases too close to each other and compete with each other's sales. It might make sense, like if you have a new game like Super Mario Galaxy, and then shortly after release a remake or a port of New Super Mario Bros. U and call it Deluxe, and that's okay because that game is just only going to get some new sales, it being an old title. But you release Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and then too close after a 3D Mario, Now maybe not. Maybe both games sell independently well, and they both live out to being as, big of a success as each can. But I would think, I mean, have a year apart, have 11 months apart. I've always been on like two sides of the fence kind of with Nintendo Switch 2, an April machine or a November machine. But it could be like a July, September. So I do think that Mario, 3D Mario specifically, will be a launch title for a Nintendo Switch 2. Or potentially Mario Kart 9 or 10 or whatever you want to call it. But once again, if Nintendo Switch 2 is early 2024, I don't know if it's Mario Kart as a launch title, because we will just have finished up the last wave of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC. And you want to have people long for it. Now, some people have been waiting for a long time for Mario Kart. They're like, I'm ready.
For sure.
But plenty of other millions, don't forget, they've only had the game for a month. Plenty of other millions will only have had the game for 6 months. So they're still riding on Mario Kart. And, they might not be inclined to buy a new Mario Kart because like, oh, dude, I've got this game with 64 courses. I'm fine. I'll wait. So almost with either 3D Mario or Mario Kart, I'm like, if they're a launch title, I could see it later in the year and then paired up with like Metroid Prime 4 to be like a different release. But I think the next 3D Mario is going to be special. And it's always been a series that either launches a Nintendo platform or comes out shortly after and in a big way. More often than not, they're successful big blockbuster titles. I don't think there's a single bad 3D Mario game. There's just different ones of different types of good that range from great to masterpieces, in my opinion. Like there's no bad one, But I think we're gonna have something special, whether it is 3D platforming like we kind of think, or open world 3D platforming that changes the game up a lot. I've thought for a while, I'll say this before I go, and I also don't want to take too much time of any one person talking, but
there you go.
It's kind of a wild thought, but I don't know if I came up with this before or after the Mario movie, but what if the next Mario game is kind of like the movie, where it is a 3D Mario world and Mario Kart is incorporated in it? So this open world is so big that you're platforming throughout different age areas to get to the next area. And in that area is a thematically, an appropriately themed Mario Kart racetrack. And there's like
I don't know.
Around this giant island or around this series of islands or on these planets that you visit. Now, would that kill the sales of now you're not selling a 3D Mario and selling a 3D Mario Kart game? You're just selling one game, but the one game is so feature rich, and it makes up for it by having DLC in future courses and in future islands that you can expand. So you're getting a platforming experience and a racing experience in one game. Now, if you want to play it differently in a structured racing game, go into the menu and select arcade mode and play in your 4 typical races at once. So I'm kind of like a bridge of thoughts in between, kind of like Diddy Kong Racing a little bit, but mixing it more with the Mario movie if you had more courses. It's interesting.
Sorry, Paul, but I think that's a little bit too crazy. They just do what Smash did. Just put all the characters from Nintendo franchises and all their different courses. Boom. Everyone's here to race or something like that.
They could have it called Nintendo Kart. I don't know if they want to lose that name because Mario Kart means something. Sure. Nintendo means something too. Or Mario Kart with Ultimate. More Nintendo characters in it. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. But you look at the evolution of this little industry that's 40 years old in terms of at least Nintendo operating as a console manufacturer, not including color TV or Game & Watch. From Famicom to now, it's been 40 years, And you would have never predicted certain things back then, like, oh my gosh, controlling in a 3D environment, like manipulating a camera around, You couldn't have foreseen that in Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Playing with people on the internet from different countries around the world, back when Mario Kart was a, half-screen game, like you never would have thought that. So it's the creative ideas that Nintendo has that if we're thinking it, they might not do it, but chances are they might eventually do it or do something like it. I'm sure they go through, well, I know they go through, because I know they go through lots of ideas, lots of pitches. It's just, what do they pick? What do they save? How ambitious of a game do you want it to be? And like I said, I put point and counterpoint in my own argument for that game. It would be really cool and big, but then you're not selling 2 games anymore. But you're selling one mega game that has a lot of potential DLC for people to be in it. Look how people play Fortnite. That's one game with a lot of different experiences in it.
I would have looked Fortnite for some business lessons. It's just like for me, not every game needs to be open world. I played a lot of open world. I played a lot of linear worlds. There's a place for both, especially in Mario Kart. I don't really see that open world. I don't get that concept.
Yeah, I do see. I don't see both games at the same time merging together, but I do see what Paul is saying. Whether as to we already have a rumor that the next Mario game is going to be open world, and eventually is going to be open world. I think a lot of Mario fans are clamoring for it, but I do see having a world separately where Mario Kart exists, like the concept of what, not the actual game, but there are carts that you can actually get in and go on a track to complete some certain levels, just because it's already within the world, right? If we take like Paul said, we take the Mario universe, the Mario movie, and we put it like in a game, then it should exist in the little corner of the world. Oh, that's where Mario Kart takes place. It's not necessarily what the game is gonna be like that, but you can head over there. There are some things you can do in the cart, get on any cart or whatever, go to Diddy Kon's, whatever, or any track or whatever, and then do something to complete that level. But I actually do see in what he's saying. I know that there is some levels in, what is it? Is it 2D Mario? What 2D Mario is it that it does have carts in it? And there are some levels where you actually get in a cart and you race and you kind of speed through the level and you jump. I think it's
Super Mario Maker lets you do it.
Yeah. So there is already that element of Mario carts inside an actual Mario game. So I don't see it far-fetched. I think that they should keep the games separately, Mario Kart, but I do see the fun that could be added just by adding that Mario Kart element to Super Mario, an open world Super Mario in this. Oh yeah.
Someone in the chat said Grand Theft Mario. I was like, oh, that's true.
That's hilarious. That is funny.
I'm in a hot car though, so I'm gonna
all right, Paul.
I might be able to be back on later. It depends, but it was nice talking even for a few minutes. Everything thoughts for a few more minutes. So appreciate it.
Sounds good, Paul. Drive safely.
Bye, Paul.
If we don't see you
Paul.
back, drive safely. Take care. And if I see you around, I'll just boop you back in.
All right.
All right, Paul.
Bye, chat.
Bye, Paul.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. So Paul made some good statements there. Mario is eventually going big, and if you guys remember the how big they went with Mario Odyssey, how much they celebrated that game. They made like a huge giant celebration in downtown New York where they had like this big giant carnival with Mario and
I love that part of the game.
Do you remember when they had that celebration and they had these people dressed up, these dancers and everything? It was just massive. So I can't imagine what they're gonna do for Mario next time. But yeah, that's the world of Mario. We're looking forward to that. I want to jump over to this land that's far, far away, full of magic and wonder, and some Calamity Ganon guy that got destroyed, but then this other Ganon guy that rose up, and I don't know who Ganon is what. But anyway, we have here the Queen of Hyrule, who we want to hear her thought on.
Hylia is here. No.
The current state of Zelda now, right? Where does she want to see Zelda blast off in the future? Maybe to space. I already know. I already know where you want to see Zelda go into the future, that dystopian one. Like, take it over. Go ahead.
So I got a few thoughts. Got to watch for some of my more elaboration. You got to check out Coffee and Games with me and Mike, where we discuss it a little bit more in depth. But I think Zelda is in a transition period. Actually, Breath of the Wild was the test. Okay. Are they going to like this? This is so different from Ocarina of Time. Can this be groundbreaking?
Yeah.
Can we depend? You say, well, we know we're going to at least, because I'm sure Nintendo, any business calculates this. Nintendo's probably like, okay, we'll probably at least get a good 10 million out of this game over its lifetime. That I don't know what their actual projections were. This is just what I'm thinking based off of historic sales. And they were like, are they going to like it if we change the pattern, if we, as they say, break all the conventions of Zelda? Tears of the Kingdom was everything that I think, and that a lot of fans that I've read online kind of believe that Breath of the Wild kind of missed. Breath of the Wild was very much, ooh, we can go here. Ooh, I can do that. Wait a minute, I've been walking for like an hour and I'm just now across the map. You know, there's all these, and I can go in any order I want. What? It was kind of shock and awe in a good way. Tears of the Kingdom, we already knew what was coming, but we didn't know what was coming. We had no idea of the technical marvel on a 7-year-old system that Tears of the Kingdom could go. Barely any loading screen. Yeah, you're going to have some hiccups if you want to dive all the way from the sky to the surface to the depths. You're going to have some hiccups. That's okay. But the fact that, you know, there was just so much more to do. You're building the world. You have so much to go. So they took several elements from old games that we love. You know, and of course we got our main fun people. We got Link, we got Zelda, we got Ganon, and we got a real Ganon this time. Ganon Skeletor Ganon and full-fledged I'm crazy Ganon. Actually, I would have liked to have more crazy Ganon personally. Right? But I love that he would pop up, his phantom would pop up and freak you out, because I thought nothing was freakier than Guardians.
Oh, yeah, that was scary.
The first time I saw those hands, I was like, oh.
That's scary.
What is happening?
Listen, let me tell you. I saw those hands the very first time I dropped from the Great Sky Island. I literally dropped down, and those hands, I heard the music like, wow, they changed the music. You know, is
it a blood moon?
Yeah,
in the middle of the day.
And I see those hands. I think I don't remember what I did. I think I shut off the TV. I'm like, what is this? It caught me off guard.
I got a story about turning off a Zelda game once, but that's for another day. It's an older game. But I think this was Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where. Don't get me wrong, the devs were in there like, we're going to knock their socks off. We want to make the best game possible. We're excited about this. But it was also kind of, okay, the fans have given us permission to break the conventions of Zelda. So as far as the future of the series, you know, space might be the final frontier. It might be a thing.
Space?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I don't know. I feel like I have like old-fashioned views, because y'all talking about worlds and space, and I'm just like, slim it down a bit. But well, I don't see how he would get to space. Like, how would that happen?
How do you get to Termina? Because they swear it was a dream. That was not a dream. Nintendo, we're on to you. We know good and well Termina was not a dream. You took us through too many emotions for that to be a dream.
Yeah.
But hear me out. What I mean is not necessarily literally in space, although we do know in the series there is a such thing as aliens, and it's not just in Termina. That's what some of the devs said several years ago. I think what I'm saying is, I think they feel like they have permission to really, really switch up the formula. We're still going to have the base. Okay, we're still going to have the base. We're still going to have Link and Zelda. We're going to have some version of the Master Sword. We're still going to have certain things that makes the series special. It's not, I'm sorry, but it's not special without Link. It's not special without Zelda being somewhere in there. It's not special without certain things that we really, really love.
Yeah.
You know, we're we still like the Gorons, we like Gerudo, we like all that, but that doesn't mean we can't change up the art style. The art style always changes. Doesn't mean we can't change up what world it's in. One of my theories is, let's say we go into the future. They're done with this version of Hyrule. They're done with that sort of thing. We don't know necessarily what Hyrule's going to necessarily look like by the next game. They could completely turn it on its head. It could be a completely different part of the entire jacked up timeline.
Yeah,
because we all know that timeline is jacked up. It could be, and there's enough plot holes in the games themselves and in the timeline itself. Really, we could do anything from a few millennia ago to a few millennia in the future. So there's a lot there that they can do. We can make it open world. We can make it part open world, part linear. We can lock the story behind certain gameplay. There's just too many places where it could go. Because I truly, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I always like to ask this, but would you want Link to talk?
I am on team Link needs to speak.
Yeah, he already does.
Yay!
Yeah, he already does, but it's just not verbally. We don't hear him because.
But we need to hear him, because Link traditionally has been through the eyes. He's supposed to represent the player.
Yeah.
But the fact that we could not rename him and make him our own character in Breath and Tears.
Yeah.
That leads me to believe, okay, he's his own person now. He's his own character.
That's true.
So it's fair to let's give him a backstory. These are things that we care about as the hardcore fan base, and I think newcomers would be interested in. Who is this people? You just saving the world every millennia. You have no cousins. You got no step aunties. You got you have nobody. I find that odd. That was one of the comforts I found in Breath and Tears, is that he had such a close knit friendship with the champions and even with the new champions. And he and Zelda, I think they're in a relationship. But if you're not team relationship, you have to admit they're at least BFFs. That's still beautiful.
Yeah.
So as far as the future is concerned, I can see them keeping the open world scope. But I can definitely see the dungeons being even more unique, because they tried it with the Divine Beast, and I've said this a jillion times before. I like the Divine Beast, but they needed a different interior decorator because the aesthetic was basically the same. They did a lot. The temples were so much more enjoyable in Tears, I believe.
Yeah.
But let's keep it honest here. A Link to the Past had the best dungeons of all time. Argue with me on Twitter if you would like to, at DJ Joycey on Twitter, now X, formerly known as Twitter. But those had the best dungeons. They're extremely unique, very, very different. Ocarina of Time, extremely different dungeons. Bring back some of those unique items that we can only use in certain scenarios. The other thing is, well, you know what? I'm gonna save that for our next Coffee and Games talk. Why I think Breath of the Wild could actually be a trilogy, and we don't have to use the same map.
Yeah.
More on that on another show. That's another show.
Yeah, we actually started talking about that, but we decided to leave it for another show. So yeah. That makes a good segue. Good segue. So yeah. Everything we're talking about is basically where the state of our favorite games are now and where we see this going with the Nintendo Switch 2. Now,
hold on, time out. I want to show you Zelda people something. This is what I bought recently.
We're Zelda people now.
Yes. It's actually this. It's a replica of a chest. And inside is actually the original 5 manga books of Zelda.
Yep.
Wow,
which I think is sick.
So cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you find that recently? Because that's old. I haven't been able to find it.
Yeah, I was with Lynn.
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, literally at Barnes and Noble. No
They
joke.
have it right now. Wait, hold on. BarnesandNoble.com.
Yeah,
I know,
Barnes
right?
and Noble. It's literally so cool. And then inside, it literally has the first 5 manga books of Zelda. And I'm like, this is literally unbelievably cool.
That's good.
And I was like, definitely debating buying it. And then the person at the counter told me that she was going to price match and then give me $5 off. And I said, okay. So I got it.
Send me your receipt so I can price match.
They price match for just say price match it on your website. It was on their own website and it was cheaper than a store. So say that and then
I will buy 2 of them, one for the Christmas giveaway and one for myself.
W. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
It's like really cool. I thought it was just the chest, but then it literally and it comes with a poster.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Nice.
it's kind of sick.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to show that before we moved on from Zelda.
Thank you guys for coming to the podcast. That's the thing. I think.
Yeah, you're gonna run to Barnes and Noble.
Just take us with you. Just take us with you. Just go on the run. You might run into Paul or something. You know.
Oh yeah, right. With the phone like that, I'm not as talented as Paul. Paul can just walking like I probably just trip over my own foot. You guys will see like the everything going, and then the lens just like cracked right in the middle. But anyway, so everything we've been talking about, guys, has been basically the current state of games and the future of games and where we want to see the games going with the next gen console. But how about talk about the next gen console itself, right? So there's been a lot of talk out there, right? A lot of content creators putting out there that the Nintendo Switch 2 will make an appearance this year. I am on the team that says we're not even going to hear a peep about the Nintendo Switch 2 this year. Nintendo's holiday season is set. It's packed. It's like I've never seen a season so packed before. Last year wasn't as packed as this one, right? And we were still further away from the Nintendo Switch 2, right? So I wanted to get that out there first. I know it's exciting to talk about Switch 2. We will continue to talk about Switch 2. Get the news out there, get the leaks out there because we will continue to get leaks and we'll continue to get more news out there daily. But no Switch 2 in November, no Switch 2 in October, no Switch 2 in December. You know, we're gonna see it. We only got 3 more months, guys. 3 more months in the year, 3 more months, and then we'll enter Switch 2 territory 2024. And that's what I'm not gonna say all hell's gonna break loose. I'm gonna say all heaven is gonna break open, come down, and we're gonna be, you know, the February Nintendo Direct is gonna be crazy right now, insane. Okay, so let's put that there. There's another thing that's out there that's kind of bugging me a little bit about the Switch 2 is that they're saying, oh yeah, Switch 2 is gonna be as powerful as an Xbox One and a PS4. So you're telling me that the Switch 2 is going to be as powerful as a 10-year-old console from 2013. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? So we're going to go back in time. Nintendo went back in time, took all the pieces and parts and all the, you know, old parts and just put together a Switch 2. My friends, no, that's not what it is. The whole picture is Nintendo's working with NVIDIA on a very powerful chip for the Nintendo Switch system that will allow Nintendo to use the power of DLSS to upscale to 4K resolution. What we have heard is that the Matrix resolution is running on the Switch 2. We've heard that Final Fantasy Remake is running on the Switch 2, and that it looks exactly like the PS5 resolution-wise. And you may say, that's impossible, but it's not, because there's more than one way to get to the same location. Nintendo is using the power of software and hardware and AI to get there. And so, yes, we say Nintendo is a PS4, but they're not using a hard drive like they were using back in the day. Remember the hard drive? Hard drive, guys, is what we used to store information back in the Stone Age that had a whole bunch of disk inside that whenever you load something, you hear play. And that's why in Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and before that there was these loading times. Those huge, massive loading times. Now, ever since then, there's been more things coming out. SSD, right? And guess what? SSD is now old again. We have M.2 drives. Okay, M.2 drives is what currently PlayStation X and Xbox are using on their drives right now. And therefore, Nintendo can also go that route. And it looks like they are, because of that tech demo they showed from Breath of the Wild with no loading time at all. Okay. So just with that, just let's say with the same CPU, GPU strength as the PS4, with that hard drive, just a hard drive upgrade to M.2, that already just threw the PS4 and Xbox One out of the water, right? DLSS, that wasn't being used in consoles, only being used in PC. Nintendo's bringing it over to the system, you know, for the Nintendo Switch 2, and using it in a way, I think in a smart way, right? Because when you go on your anybody who does gaming PC, you know, PC gamers, you go on your system settings and you update the DLSS to make sure that, you know, the ray tracing, all that stuff, you can do that, right? Well, Nintendo is using that same exact thing, but for their Switch, right? And using the power of ARM chips. ARM chips is where you can store more power in a smaller chip. That's what Apple is doing, right? With their M chips, like the M2, the M1, right? You can, in the M2, you have the power of a mega giant gaming PC in a chip like this. You don't need those big giant video cards that are this massive that you have to kind of install in a slot there. No, all you need is this little chip like this, M.2 chip, M.Pro. I have the M Pro one. It's crazy. So you can't say that the Nintendo Switch 2 is like the PS4 and PlayStation 1. You need the entire picture here. There's new technology at foot, right? There's
at hand.
Yeah, at hand, and there's new techniques at hand, and Nintendo is taking the smart route. You know why? Because they're giving us a handheld console with the capability of giving us next-gen games without heating up, without burning my ham like the Steam Deck did. Yes, the Steam Deck, it burnt my hand. Okay. And it burnt my hand while I was playing ukulele. Okay, it wasn't even the big highest travel. Oh, you know, I downloaded ukulele. I got my Steam Deck. I'm so excited. I'm gonna pick it up. I burnt my hand. I literally had a blister in my hand. The back of it was so hot. It's crazy. They weren't able to.
Should have played Guitar Hero.
Guitar. Can you imagine? I would have to hold the.
You said ukulele. I said guitar.
Wow.
Oh, I get it.
Sorry, bad joke.
Well, you know what a ukulele is, right? Right? You know what?
Oh yeah, it's a little guitar.
No, I mean the character is a little lizard and the.
Well, yeah, but it's also look up ukulele.
Oh yeah, I know it's a little guitar. It's a little tiny.
Yeah,
guitar.
that's what I meant.
I'm trying to learn how to play ukulele, by the way. But yeah, you know, the Nintendo Switch 2 will be a powerful system. It will be a very well capable system that will actually surprise a lot of people. Nintendo keeps getting impossible games on the Switch. Why do they call it impossible? Because nobody believes in them. But Nintendo. Nintendo believes in what the Nintendo Switch could do. That's why we got Tears of the Kingdom. That's why we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That's why we got Bayonetta 3. You know, all these games that look incredible, they play amazing on the Nintendo Switch. And Nintendo can do that with what they call small power. Imagine what they could do with more. You know? Mm-hmm. Who made this phrase? Back from our time? Now you're playing with power. Nintendo. That's because guess what? Everybody else likes to use power, but I feel like Nintendo is the only one who knows how to use it. Right? It's like they know how to give you the best experience without having to give you the, you know, why is the Switch $299 when everything else is $499, $599, right? Because they spend so much money on hardware that they barely make a buck. While Nintendo makes you a smaller console, they cut costs and they still make a profit, right? They make a profit on their Switch. That's why they're the biggest company there, you know, right now. But I'll leave it up to.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. So here's my thing. Maybe because I'm not a techie and it's not as I don't care.
Yeah.
But a good question for my esteemed panel and the chat. Let's just say this is not going to happen, by the way. So this is a hypothetical. Let's just say that Nintendo never decided to put out any more hardware. It's just Switch forever. Yeah. That's it. Just Switch. Switch OLED, Switch Lite.
That's the nice name though. Switch
forever. Yeah, they better not go with that. Then in 20 years we'll be confused if they do come out with new hardware. But seriously. But they keep making games. We keep getting good games. We even get third party. Would you guys stop playing Nintendo because there's not new hardware?
No. This is the thing. Nintendo is their IPs. Take away Mario, take away Pokemon, take away Zelda, take away all of their major IPs. What do you have left? A console. And I don't think and I'm a Nintendo fan. I don't think anybody would buy the console without Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and even Splatoon, right? These are
Metroid,
and all these amazing. And the thing is that Nintendo is Nintendo because they've been around since forever, since the 80s, right? And they've developed these IPs that will live on forever and that are grew up with us, right? In Joycey and us, we are in our 40s and we grew up with them, and then we have all kind of generations growing up with Mario, and the more generations grow up with Mario, the more immortal Mario gets. And whatever Mario console, let's say PlayStation takes Mario, PlayStation will become one of the best selling consoles, and I would probably jump to PlayStation and buy Mario. You know what I mean?
Let's keep it real.
Yeah,
where Zelda goes, I'm not gonna lie, I'm following.
Nintendo is their IPs. You know, Mario Brothers was on arcade before it was on a console, right? And I think that even the Atari had a version of Mario Brothers as well back in the day. So there was a point where Mario was shared. You know, when they were in arcade.
Mario's missing.
Was it right?
And Mario Hotel, I think.
Yeah,
I thought those were fan made.
Oh no, they're real. They're real.
They're real. Oh my god.
They're real. And it was like Luigi who had to search for them through history. It was like almost like that Back to the Future game back in the day.
Yeah, that's like pre Luigi's Mansion. That's where they got Luigi's Mansion from. Like Mario's missing. That's where it started. Kind of like the idea of Luigi taking the helm and rescuing Mario, and then Mario, and then Luigi.
I love Luigi. I just think he's adorbs.
Yeah. And then the Luigi's scared and stuff like that. So they put him in the haunted house. Okay, great. Put your scared character in the haunted house, and they put Mario missing, and they got a beautiful formula that works. But yeah, to recap, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Gen 10 Pokemon is gonna be amazing. I look forward to that, and my hopes are extremely high for them. I know that they're gonna get it right, and I think it's gonna be one of the best selling games, best looking games, best playing games.
Agreed.
And
100% agreed.
And I predict it'll be the first time I catch a shiny with Gen 10. I like it. Gen 10, just like Liz said, it does match. It does kind of rhyme. So it's actually
the marketing behind it is too crazy for them to not go all out.
Yeah, I agree.
What if it's just like the next Pokemon instead of like colors or everything? It's just like Pokemon Gen 10. That's like the whole title.
Pokemon Gen 10.
The only downside is they already did Pokemon X. So even if they were to do like Roman numerals where like X would be 10, they already made Pokemon.
They already
X.
did that one, right?
Yeah.
X and Y. Was it X and Y or was it?
It was X and Y.
It was X and Y. Okay. So, but it's just like it's like a black cover, and it just says Pokemon in its usual logo, and then it just says Gen 10 spelled out. And then you pop the game in, and it's like the most amazing, beautiful, like colorful, awesome thing you've ever played. And you talk about it for like 5 more years.
Yeah,
that would be lovely, but Pokemon knows how to get money from people, so they're gonna have like Gen 10 and then the counter copy. There's X and Y, red and blue, at Ruby Sapphire, Gen
and 10. There we go, Gen and 10. That's it.
Yeah, there's Pokemon Gen and Pokemon 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jen and 10
pop off.
Dual pack.
One cover is just plain black, and then the other one is like plain gray. Like but you pop that sucker in, and it just knocks your socks off.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Would love that, but
I'd make it work.
Right? I thought this Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was gonna be one game, but it turned out to be two.
But it's always two. Because you need to have the exclusive legendaries, the exclusive Pokemon. If you want to fill everything out, you got to either plan with your buddy which one you're going to buy or buy both. It sucks.
I mean, do you think that's why Arceus looked so good?
I mean, maybe. But I think it was also a side game that
much smaller.
Think visuals were such like a key part in it as well, because it wasn't a main series game.
Yeah,
like it was a side game. It was just like here's this until Generation 9. Everyone's like, oh, this was pretty cool, and we all ended up loving it. Yeah. But I think visuals were such a key part of it. It's similar to Pokemon Snap. If Pokemon Snap didn't look good, the new one, who in the world would play that game when you're trying to take pictures, but it looks crappy, runs poorly? Like Legends Arceus, there's obviously a lot more to it than Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
But visuals were so key in that game. And it's like you said, there was only one. But I don't think that like if they split it into like Legends Arceus and Legends Darkrai, that the look would go down.
Yeah.
I just think it was a side game, and they just put a lot of love into it because it was very like a gutsy play by them, and it worked out. And then they're like, hey, Generation 9, let's not put anything in there that people loved in Legends Arceus.
The thing about it too is there wasn't like really any open world portion to it. It was like our introduction to open world because it was sections of the map you would unlock the further you got. But I think if you were to take a team and you were divided and be like, all right, you get the coastlands, you get the highlands, you get whatever. Every team is so focused on every single detail because it's such a smaller game in comparison that people had the time to like make sure every little detail was as cool as possible, because it wasn't just this giant open map that had quadruple the decks, quadruple the stuff. Like, I think because of that, they were just able to work a lot more on the smaller details.
Yeah, I agree. Any last thoughts, crew, about?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mandley, what RPG are you playing like at the moment? I know you told us what you're looking forward to, but like, what are you playing kind of like at the moment, RPG wise?
I just finished the big one, so I'm right now just playing other genres. But
what'd you finish? I'm curious because I might want to play.
Final Fantasy VI.
Nice.
And DLC for Pokemon. And yeah, all that good stuff.
And how did you like Final Fantasy VI?
I liked it. It was a product of its time. I just wish, because it came out in 1994, and that's the year I was born.
Yeah.
So like
young people.
So yeah, but back then it would have been like this revolutionary thing. Yeah. I would imagine, with all the stuff they pulled.
Yeah.
Do you think the next Switch would have improved it, or do you think it's for you it's the game itself?
Would have improved Final Fantasy VI?
Yeah. Because the only reason I'm asking, I want to ask an expert because I read stuff online and I never know what to believe because everybody's all over the place. So was it a graphics? Because I saw some people say it's a graphics thing. Other people said it was the game itself that they didn't thoroughly totally enjoy.
No,
what?
I think
on the Switch, it's actually better on the Switch because you could take it portably. So I would recommend the Pixel Remaster, which is the more recent one.
Are you talking about
perfect on the Switch?
16
looks good in the OLED too. So if you want to play it on the go and stuff, I recommend the Switch. I mostly play RPGs on the Switch.
It's an RPG machine, honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I got into RPGs more because of it.
Even more if you actually access the Japanese website, the Japanese eShop. It's just endless.
RPGs, as far as the eye can see.
RPG shop. Anyway,
yeah,
are you
highly
sure?
recommend on the Switch.
Are you sure you're not talking about Final Fantasy 16, Joshi?
Am I gonna talk? No.
Are you?
I was gonna talk about Bayonetta, and we were. I was chatting with a few people in the chat. Because Platinum Games announced that the director of Bayonetta, let me get his name correct, y'all. I'm gonna try. Hideki Kamiya. And not only Bayonetta is my jam, but of course he also did the director for Beautiful Joe and The Wonderful 101. He is leaving Platinum Games, and this sent me into a mini panic because, like I've talked about several times, I love Bayonetta. I always am big on. I know I say this about the Zelda series a lot. I don't mind Zelda. I don't want Zelda playable, but I wouldn't mind Zelda having her own game. And I appreciate who Zelda is, what her strengths are, and unless it's a spinoff or something like Hyrule Warriors or something like that, I don't need her to be a fighter. I don't need her to have a weapon in her hand. She's amazing and fabulous of who she is. I appreciate who she is. Bayonetta has guns for heels, and I appreciate that.
She
is who she is. One of my biggest, character crushes in a video game, because she's not real. But she does need a weapon in her hand. She is a witch and a nun and everything that, and she does have a very odd, she is. She's a witch and she's a nun. You got to play the games. It works. Yeah. But it has a very weird but interesting backstory. So with the director leaving, I'm like, well, I was promised Bayonetta 4, 5, and 6. What's happening here? I'm scared. I'm a bit sad. Yes, Kirsten, Bayonetta is it's a very wild game, but that's Platinum for you. Astral Chain is extremely wild. Actually, Astral Chain is a little bit toned down compared to Bayonetta. I love Bayonetta. Don't let Miyamoto anywhere near my Bayonetta. I will go to Platinum or Nintendo, wherever he is, with the torch, and it's like, you go back to Mario, sir.
Yeah, he'll add Goombas to it.
Because Bayonetta, like I said, she is who she is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I understand it's not the most family friendly. I understand it's not. It's definitely a rated M game for a reason. But I have a lot of respect and love for that character. And that series has a lot of life. I can see that series going until I leave this earth. I will be in the old folks' home with my nieces and nephews. Me and Joe going to be there. He'll be playing, I don't know, probably something on his Xbox. He barely plays games, but he does have an Xbox. Yeah. And I'll be playing Nintendo, waiting for the Direct, and still hoping for Bayonetta. That's part of my future. It is what it is. So we have our own chat back here on StreamYard, guys, and we're all just being so silly right now. So that was just my thing. So Platinum Games, please still continue with Bayonetta. You got a hardcore fan here. I love her for who she is. I love Zelda for who she is, Link for who he is, Mario for who he and Luigi are. I appreciate characters and what they bring to their game and what they bring to gaming as a whole. So I don't want anyone's charm or the thing that makes them to change. And that's why like I said, I had a mini heart attack when I woke up to that news a few days ago, and I was like, please don't leave. I need Bayonetta 4, 5, and 6. I haven't played Origins yet, but I'm going to. But I need this in my life. I need the crazy. I need all of that. I need all of it.
Well, I'm sorry to say that Bayonetta is dead. She's gone.
And I'm never coming back to the podcast if you say that one more time. Don't even play. Don't mess with my emotions like that.
Is she a witch? Are witch like living dead people?
She's a witch and she's a nun.
I don't know anything about witches, guys. Don't judge me. Okay, I don't know.
And she's not.
Nun can practice witchcraft. It's not advised, but there's nothing stopping a nun from doing witchcraft.
I didn't say she was a Catholic nun.
Oh,
she's a nun of her. Of a particular order.
And none of her
of witchery. there. I don't want to give away any part of the story because you know I know we have some of our young ones. Don't worry. Bayonetta's not. The first 3 aren't going anywhere. So,
but if you want, Bayonetta Origins is a really good game to check out. It's a really cool game. It's down to earth, families, friends, stuff like that. So yeah, Bayonetta Origins.
That one everybody can play.
Yeah,
and the art style is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't played it yet. I'm so excited.
And the music is amazing too. So yeah, Bayonetta Origins, recommend it. Also, Fae Farm. I cannot talk enough about Fae Farm.
Oh, I'm addicted to that.
I talked about Fae Farm today in the video. What the heck, man? What the heck?
That game is addicting. I love it.
Fae Farm. I like Fae Farm. I think it's my second favorite cozy game after Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It's
like I don't like many farming sims, but that one got me addicted.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to another one, which is Fantasy Life. By the way, guys, Fantasy Life, level 5 games. They did the presentation in Tokyo Game Show. They did not offer any release date. Only said 2022. You okay? You're right.
Yeah. Sorry. No. Sorry.
You scared me. So yeah, they only said 2023. I'm like, level 5, it's September, the end of September, right? We only got 3 more months. Why do you keep saying 2023? We only got 3 months. And so a friend of mine who works in that area, not for level 5 directly, but in the marketing department, told me that the game is expected for December. So there you have it. And if you look back, their last game, Fantasy Life, was also released in December, and they were saying 2023 all the way till the end. They were without a release date. So it's 2023. There's only 3 months left in the year. December could be one of them. Who knows? But hopefully it's coming in December. So for those of you looking forward to Fantasy Life, I know I am. Then yeah, December. Yeah, December 5th. Am I talking too much? Am I saying too much? Am I gonna get in trouble? Maybe. I don't care. Anyway, all right, guys. So that is the podcast. You guys heard a little bit about what's happening inside the world of Nintendo. You heard our opinions, what we think about the future of each franchise. It's good that we have a podcast that we go a little bit everywhere, right? It's like an open world, like an open world where we can go over to Pokemon. What do you guys call your places? Land regions. There you go. You go to the Pokemon region, the Palgo, Paldea. Glurmion regions, and then we can go to the Hyrule over here. We go to Mushroom Kingdom, Flower Kingdom, RPG World, and then give you guys all of our thoughts here at the podcast. Guys, before we let you go, I want to hear from our amazing crew here, starting with our special guest today, Mandy Lee plays. We know she plays. Now we need to know, where can we find you?
You can find me on my channel, Mandy Lee Plays, or on Twitter or X at Mandy Lee Plays. So yeah.
Nice. Go check out her content, guys. A lot of RPG content, very good content, very soothing conversations you can have with her. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and take it away, Mandy.
What?
Mandy.
Mandy, I think you're on mute, sweetie.
Mandy.
My bad. I had no idea I was actually muted. I didn't know I clicked that button. But yeah, you can find me on my channel, Vandy323. Posting a video this Saturday or Sunday, and then I have a pretty big one going out in about 2 to 3 weeks after that. Started recording it today, actually. So big day today. And yeah, then on Twitch, Vandy_323. I will say this every podcast. How on earth does someone already have Vandy323 on Twitch? That is not a real word, and really random numbers put together. So thank you for having that.
We're gonna find that person one day.
I don't even get it. I didn't even get it on Twitter either. My brother has it.
The big question is who is using it? Are they using it, or is it like one of those dead channels?
I'm looking at it. I'm gonna look at it right now
because that's what it frustrates me the most. Because like, look, Mike Odyssey is not available on Twitter or on Instagram, but they are available on dead channels that have like no followers, and they were created in the year 1845 and nobody ever talks about it, and they're dead channel. They shouldn't even exist.
It's a dead channel.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing. The worst thing.
It's a dead channel.
I'm like,
how dare they?
That's awesome. Well,
yeah,
but a lot of shiny hunting, a lot of Pokemon challenges. I got a really fun Pokemon mini game going out this Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, it's fun. It's gonna be a blast.
Nice. Check out Andy. 3, 2, 3. And moving on to Joycey J.
Hi guys, I'm Joycey J. Just a crazy old lady who likes video games. I don't have a channel, but please follow me on Twitter at DJ Joycey on Twitter X. Look, Mama named it Twitter. I'm gonna call him Twitter. So you follow me on there. I like Zelda, obviously, but I also like other games as well. And in honor of the goofiness that we are having on StreamYards right now, remember to hydrate.
Remember to hydrate. Not too much, because then you
I don't know how all y'all were typing all that and nobody cracked a smile but me. I'm over here cracking up.
Well, I have to kind of.
And red, Vandy's all red now. Breathe, Vandy. Breathe.
I'm fine.
Your kidneys need to breathe too. They've been working overtime tonight.
They're fine.
No, the kidneys are happy.
He's growing gills, guys. He's growing gills.
Vandy and I probably drink like what the combined, we probably drink a lake's worth of water every day.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
We like our water. I like coffee, but I like my water.
I like spring water. I like spring water. I don't like purified. Purified doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste bad. It's bad.
Wow. I think you're supposed to be. I think you're supposed to drink water. Drink spring. I think.
Spring water. Yeah, that one. Spring water.
Because the purified, it's almost like it's too pure and
it's chemically.
Yeah, and while it can be good for you if you just like drink one a week, it's not good to drink just to be drinking.
Because it has H2 flow?
Something like that. It's like it's like the water you pour like on your radiator or something like that.
Oh no, never mind. Yeah, no.
It's like too pure. So yeah, you need spring water that's naturally
purified.
Yeah, naturally purified.
Purified, terrified. I'm not good.
But if it's like purified, like distilled water or something like that, it actually tastes better. But then you start having bald spots in your head. And
what?
It's too pure.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's move on. All right.
Drink your water, y'all. Just drink your water.
All right, Lynn's Vids. What can we find you?
On the toilet after drinking that much water. But you can find me on Twitter at Lynn's Vids. You can find me on Twitch at Lynn's Vids. I'm doing a subathon this weekend over on YouTube. It's for my birthday. It's my first ever subathon. So please come out. Please support me. Otherwise it's just gonna be a really depressing time. But yeah, that's what I got.
You guys have to teach me how to do the subathon thing. Like, give me a tutorial because I want to do one.
Yeah. Okay.
My birthday's October 12th, coming up soon. So so hopefully we can do like a subathon, whatever that means. I want to learn. I'm a baby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We can have a subathon tutorial class.
Subathon tutorial class. All right, guys. So guess what? You can find me here at Mike Odyssey here at the channel. What we got going. We got Monday through Friday, Odyssey news. If you notice, some days are not there. They're missing. Is because I'm resting my eyes because I literally went blind a couple of times this week. Completely. Woke up, couldn't see the one eye, so I decided to take a break. Literally couldn't see. And so yeah, I'm trying to rest more, but we do have a new show. Instead of resting more, I'm making more work. we have a new show called Coffee and Video Games, right? We have about 2 episodes are live right now. I'm planning on doing that every single day, Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern. So it's an afternoon TV, like a coffee talk show where we just sit back, relax. There's some really relaxing music you can put in the background while we just talk about video games. There's no rush to it. We just speak our minds. And tomorrow's episode, we got our very own Joycey J talking about her very own Hyrule. And I think you want to hear what she has to say. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. It's going to be every single day, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Coffee and video games. And so that's what we have going. That's what we have going on the channel so far. And that's it. If you want to subscribe, you can. I would appreciate it. I will welcome you. And don't forget to join our Discord channel as well, because it's somewhere around there. There's a lot of activities on Discord you can also join. And of course, you can check out the Nintopics podcast here everywhere podcasts are heard, including here on the channel and everywhere else. Please do me a favor and subscribe to these amazing people: Mandy, DJ Joycey J, Mandy Lee Plays, and Linz, and also our very own Paul Gale. You can find him on Twitter at Paul Gale Network. Go to his YouTube page, Paul Gale Network. You see his adventures in the world of Nintendo. He's like a superhero with his super suit. And subscribe to Paul as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us in this amazing adventure here at the Odyssey and in the Nintopics podcast. But before we let you go, we got two things we need to let you know. Number one, what is it, Mandy?
What? I'm still lost.
Number one. What's number one? What's number one? Before we let people go, what's the number one rule?
Have fun, be safe.
I like that. No, I like that.
I
like that.
I will.
Survey says.
Yeah.
I like that. That was good.
Very good.
Number one, Linz.
Never give up.
Never.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. What's number one, Mandy? Mandy?
Never give up.
Never give up. Never give up. Just don't do it, Mandy. Don't do it, Mandy.
I'm not.
Mandy. Don't do it. It's gonna be okay. You'll get through this, Mandy.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Number two, Joycey J.
Journey on.
Journey on. The journey continues, guys.
The balloon.
What?
The balloon.
What? Oh, did it happen? Wait, did it happen? Where's the balloon? Hold on.
Use your other hand. Use your other hand.
Watch this. Peace. Peace. This is wild. Listen, I just upgraded to Mac OS. Some of these, I don't know, I can't remember. But every time I say peace, there's a balloon.
Really? That's cool.
But it freezes.
Yeah, it does.
What does it mean?
No, but at one point there was like a celebration, like fireworks behind me, like just exploding everywhere. Like it was some kind of I'm gonna say Happy New Year. Does it work? Happy New Year. Happy birthday. Goodbye. Celebration. I don't know. I don't. I say peace, and if I say peace,
What?
the balloon just shows up.
The balloon is another co-host.
I know
of the show.
It's like a weird thing. It's like I know there was one like thumbs up. If I go like this, thumbs up, it show like a little thumbs up, little button thing here. It's not working. Just with the peace one. Peace.
That's wild.
That's insane.
How do you do that?
I don't get it. I just don't get it. But the balloon is there. It's haunting me. I don't have to do with it. So guys, that's a good.
I'm gonna try it. I'm on a Mac too. Let me try it.
Wait, are you on the latest Mac OS? It just came out today.
No, because last time I did that, I forgot to back up everything, and then I had to go find everything and then reback it up, and then I had to go get my old PC, and yeah. So I'm like, let me make sure everything's backed up again first.
Is this the fingers? It's just the finger. It's just the fingers. Look,
That's amazing.
What?
That's amazing.
I don't even have to say peace. It's just the fingers. Wow. So I'm like, what else can I do with my fingers? Do I do this and something happens? Do I go like this? I'm gonna start playing with this now because I want to know what if I do something weird with it. Because I do like this, and it.
Oh my god!
Wow.
What happens if you clap?
Something happens like that. Nothing.
I feel like that would have to do something,
right? Like
it should do something.
How about cut?
Clapping absolutely deserve like at least confetti in the background.
Right? Or
that
even
makes
like
more sense than a peace sign giving balloons.
I don't understand. I feel like it means something and it's Nintendo related, and Paul probably knows exactly what
It's an Easter egg.
It is an Easter egg.
That's incredible to me.
Balloon 99.
Balloon.
It's coming.
It would be cool if I could just pop it, right? If I could just like pop it. But yeah.
Mandy's like, I ain't never coming back here again. These folks crazy.
That's the thing, guys. It's how about I wonder if I do this like with the other hand. No. It actually doesn't recognize if I go like this with my other hand.
What?
You see that? It's so smart. Here. How about if I just do 3? How about I just do, oh my god.
That's actually pretty
It
cool.
recognizes not 3.
No,
This should not be
Now go back to 2. Now go back to 2.
Get some more.
Why is this that funny? Why?
Thumbs up.
Journey on.
Journey on.
Let the
Journey
balloon take
on!
you. Let the balloon take you. Wait a minute. Somebody said it's the Nintendo Ninjas.
It would only be best if all of us had the ability and we all went peace to end, and it was just balloons.
Balloons. Well, you all have to be on max and then like the latest software and like peace.
What?
Wait,
Confetti.
you got confetti.
I do.
You had
Wait,
it for
where
a
was it?
second.
I looked away.
So 2 is confetti. This is balloon.
Balloon 1. and so we have 2 peace signs. 2 peace signs is confetti.
That's amazing.
So if I go like this one, maybe my hands, all my hands, nothing. 3.
It only cares about 2 fingers, man. It only cares about peace signs.
Thumbs up.
Whoa.
Fireworks!
What is that?
That is weird.
Oh my gosh.
It freezes.
Why
though.
does this happen in one situation? Would someone go like this?
Listen, I just downloaded that software today. I know it has bugs because it freezes, right?
Yep.
In the background. Look at that.
Right? Oh my
But-
gosh, I'm crying.
But hopefully with an update, it works better. We can actually see it in action. So stay tuned for the next podcast. I'll go over. I'm gonna investigate because I don't know this. There's a lot.
We will uncover the mystery of the balloon and the confetti fireworks.
Yeah, whoever has Mac update and let's all do like 5 fireworks together like this. All right, guys. Never give up. Journey on. Balloon.
Peace,
Balloon.
peace.
Balloon.
Balloon.
Balloon.